So we're going we're going to do 9.5A and B today. Though in our syllabus it says we need to do 9.5A and next week, and on Friday we do the B. So on Friday we will review what we have done on chapter 8 and chapter 9 today. All right, so the application is actually easy. So what you only need to do is to follow some of the procedures that post for us. It's 9. Okay, so application of quadratic equations. So what we have done actually, there are methods. There are several methods of solving quadratic equations. So we have looked at all the methods of solving the quadratic equation. The last method that we're going to, not even all, the last method that we're going to look at in the next section is drawing the quadratic graph. So we'll see how to draw that. But that is another way of solving using solving quadratic equations. Now, some methods that we actually done, one of them is the factoring method, which we did. This one, I think we did this one in section 6, even that's wrong. Number 2, we have done the square root property. So this is also another method of solving quadratic equation. Also, number 3, we have done the completing one. The completing. And then finally, what we did on Monday is our quadratic. So actually, in the application problems of quadratic equations, then you can use any method here to solve. You can use any method to solve. So one of the methods that is actually so easy to use is the quadratic. So quadratic formula, I can use it on any equation. So I would prefer quadratic formula when you're solving the application problem in quadratic equation. But if it is so simple to factorize, then you can factor it. Also, completing squares is not so hard. It's almost similar to quadratic formula, as long as you know how to use it. But the best one is quadratic formula. And if I remind you, say, if we have the equation of the quadratic equation of this form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, then our quadratic formula is x equals to minus b plus minus square root of 1. B square minus 4ac over 2a. This one, you need to remember this. So that is the quadratic formula. We also said b square minus 4ac is our discriminant. And this one shows the solutions that you're going to get. It's either you get one solution, either you get two solutions, and it can be real or what, or complex. So if b square minus 4ac equal to 0, this is one real solution. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then these are two real solutions. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then that means these are two complex solutions. Two complex solutions. So remember those. Hey, any question? Any question on the homeworks? Any question on anything? Are you guys doing your homework? Are you experiencing any problem with it? All right, let's now look at the application problems. Now, before you do any application problem, so the first thing you need to do before you do any of the application problem, the first thing you need to do is read the problem. That's the first step. Are you guys seeing what I'm? Is it clear? Yeah. So read the problem. So that is the first step. Number two, identify what we are. So you identify what we are looking for. So what are we looking for in that problem? So you read, you identify what you're looking for. Number three, you can name what we are looking for. So you name what you're looking for. You can use any name like A, X, Y, Z, any name there. So you name what you are looking for. Number four, translate into equation. After naming it, then you translate into equation. And then number five, you now solve the equation. Now solve the equation. So read, identify what you are looking for, name what you are looking for, translate into the equation, and then solve the equation. Solving the equation, you can use now any method. You can use factoring, completing squares, quadratic formula, or the square root property. And then number 6, you can check the answer and make sure. Wait, next. Check the answer and make sure it makes sense. Check your answer and then make sure it actually makes sense. And then finally, number 7, what you can do is answer the question a complete sentence? Answer the question with a complete sentence. Now, after getting the solution, after checking whether it makes sense, then you can use one statement to answer the question that we are looking for. Okay, now let's look at the first example here. First example. Example 1. So first example is the one which is so I give you guys the whole thing. I think I gave you the whole problems here. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we can actually start from the first one here. So we were somewhere and we were reading. You had read last time.
I think you have the majority of the time.
No, we did all of, so we can start it again. So we can start from the last one there. So you can read for us that for a romantic dinner, couple small haircut. So you can read for us the first example.
For a romantic dinner, a couple took a small airplane for a quick flight to the countryside and then returned home. The plane flew a total of 5 hours, and each way the trip was 300 miles. The plane was flying at 125 miles per hour. What was the speed of the wind that affected the plane?
Okay, so this problem is almost similar to the one which I gave you the example, right? So it's actually so similar to it. So for that dinner, a couple took a small plane for a quick flight to the countryside and then returned home. The plane flew a total of 4 or 5 hours, and each way the trip was 300 miles. Speed of the wind that affected the plane. So how can we solve this? How can we solve this? I think we have done several of these kind of a question. So how can we solve this? Anyone? So first of all, you read the problem. So you read, and then you identify what they are looking for. So if a plane was flying 125 miles per hour, what was the speed of the what? Of the wind that affected the plane? So we name it. We are looking for what? The speed of the wind. So we can name it, right? So we can name that speed of the wind. Okay, there is something I have never told you guys. When I'm grading your exams, so if you don't write anything in your exam, or if you leave it blank, you'll get a 0. But if you write something, even if it is something there, you'll get some credit there. Okay? So don't leave it blank, especially exam 1, exam 2, exam 3. For the finals, there are some restrictions there. But for the exam 1, exam 2, and exam 3, don't leave it blank. If you leave it blank, then that means you'll actually get a 0. But if you write something there, then you might get 1, 2, 3, or 4, or half. Okay. So you write something that you know, anything that you know about maybe that topic. If you don't know anything, so you can write anything there, and you can still get some credit. Okay. So here, so we can name what you're looking for, and what was the speed of the wind that affected the plane. So we can say the speed of wind is x. So we can check the speed of wind as x. And in words, miles per hour. So if we remember, the distance equals to speed over what? Speed all over time. And then we know also that time equals to speed all over what? All over distance. What am I writing? This is so wrong. Speed is equals to distance all over what? All over time. Speed is equals to distance all over time. Then time is equals to distance all over what? All over speed. And is equals to distance all over speed. Okay? Distance is equals to distance. Time is equals to distance all over the speed. Now, so says the plane flew a total of 5 hours, going and coming back. Okay, so going 5 hours, coming back 5 hours. So when the plane is flying down there, we are told the distance so each way is how many miles? 300 miles. Each way is 300 miles. Okay. And the total time is equals to what? Total time is equals to 5 hours. And the plane is speed of plane is equals to 125 miles per hour. 125 miles. Okay. Now, what is the speed of the wind? So how can we solve? How can we solve this? So what we can do here, we can just say if it is going, then let's say it's doing what? It's going down. It's dropping actually, right? So it will actually go with the speed of the one, the wind. And let's say if it is coming back, it is like coming against the speed of the wind. So here, the total time that it will take is 5 hours. So then our time is equal to distance all over what? All over speed. So the distance going down is 300 miles. The total time is 5 hours. Is equal to distance going down is 300 miles. All over the speed when it's going down there is the speed of the plane plus the speed of the what? Of the wind, right? Plus, when it is coming back, is also covering 300 miles. And the speed, when it is coming back, the wind, if it is going against the wind, then that means the speed of the plane will do what? Will actually reduce. So it will be 125 minus what? Minus x. Now, what is the speed of the wind? So what is the speed? What is the speed of the wind? Now, looking at this, then you need to remember what we did in the last section. So we need to remove the what? The denominator, right? And what is our least common factor in the denominator? What is the least common factor? So 125 plus x1. Yes, so it is actually a difference of squares, right? So our least common factor here is 125 plus x, 125 minus what? Minus x. 125 minus. What you do on this side, you also do it on the other side. Okay. So 125 plus x, 125 minus x is similar to what? 125 square minus what? X square multiplied by 5 equals to, now this will cancel. So you multiply each one of them. So this will cancel with one of them. So it will be 300 multiplied by 125 plus x. Actually, this is minus, then plus 300, 125 minus plus x. Okay, so so if you use your calculator, what do you get? So 125 square is what? Multiplied by 5.
78,000.
Minus 5x square equals to 300 multiplied by 125.
$37,500.
Minus 300x plus 37,500 minus 300 plus 300. Okay, so if you look at this and that will do what? Will cancel. That will cancel. Now bring the 37,500 to this side and then take the 5x squared to the other side. 5x squared equals to 78,125 minus 37,500. What do you get? So 78,125 minus 37,500 is what? What do you get? 5, 2,
40,000.
40,000, 625, right? 5x squared. Divide both sides by what? By 5. Divide both sides by 5. So what is our x squared equals to what? 8, 125, right? 8, 125. Now, what do you do from there? You use the what? Square root property, right? So what is our x? X is equal to plus or minus the square root of what? 8125. So what is the square root of 8125? What is the square root of 8125? What is the square root of 8125? What did you get?
Were you supposed to add the 37,500s?
Oh, okay. That 7,500 times 2 is what?
75,000.
75,000, right? Sorry about that. So this is 75,000. So 78,125 minus 75,000 is what?
3,125.
3,125. And then you now divide by what? 5. What do you get?
625.
625. So our x square is equals to 625. So our x is equals to plus or minus 25. So the speed of the wind, which one will we take? The positive one, right? So the speed of wind is equals to 25 minus 5. Any question after that? So the most difficult part is to formulate the equation. Once you formulate the equation, as long as you remember the methods that we've done, then it is not difficult. It is not difficult.
And that's a fine answer to what speed of the wind is 25 miles an hour.
Yes,
Like that.
yeah, you just write it like that. The speed of the wind is 25. So that is the statement that you need to write. Speed of the wind miles per hour. 25 miles per hour. Okay. Right, so that is it. Okay, now let's go to the second one. So what is the second one? Second one. Can read for us the second one. Okay, the product of two consecutive odd integers is 323. Find the integers, this each combination of integers in parentheses and separate by a comma. Separate by a comma. Okay. Right, so this is a common one, and we had actually done some similar thing like this. The product of two consecutive odd numbers is 323. So find the integers. So what are we looking for? Two consecutive numbers. Two consecutive numbers. So the product of two consecutive numbers. So if the first number is n, right? What is the second one? So, and we are doing the odd. So if one is odd number, right? So to get a second odd number, which is 3, we do what?
Add 2.
We add 2. So the second number is n plus 2. The product n plus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to 323. It's equals to 323. So what are the two integers? So when you open these brackets, then s squared plus 2n equals to what? 3. Now it forms what? A quadratic equation. Forms a quadratic equation. So for n squared plus 2n minus 323 equals to what? Equals to 0. So what is the easiest method to use here? So since it is not easy to use, because if you say you want to use the AC method, so what are the two numbers? You might not get it easily, right? So the easiest thing there to use is a quadratic form. So our A is equals to 1, our B equals 2, and our C equals 323, which is minus. So we are looking for n, which is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which is similar to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, and then minus minus 323 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 1. All over what? All over 2 multiplied by 1. 2 multiplied by 1. And this one is equals to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 plus 323 multiplied by 4. 1 over 2. So what is 323 multiplied by 4 plus 4 and then the square root? What do you get?
1,296,
How about the square root?
36.
36. So equals to minus 2 plus or minus 36 all over 1. All over 2. And this is n. So when we factor out 2 in each one of them, then it means this is equals to minus 1 plus or minus what? 18 or yeah, plus or minus 18. So what is our n? N is equals to minus 19 or n is equals to
17.
17. N is equals to 17. So minus 19. So what is the other number? If n is 19, if n is equals to minus 19, the other number n plus 2 is equals to 1. So the next number is, it will be minus 19 plus 2, which is equals to what? Which is equals to what? Negative 17. So it says you separate with a comma, so negative 17, negative 19. Now, the other one is 17. 17 plus 2 is what? So 19 and what? 17. So those are the numbers. Those are the numbers. So the numbers. Any question after that? Any question? Okay. So you can, let's say, let's do the next one. This week, actually, okay, we can do all of it. So the next one is 2 gardeners can do weekly yard maintenance in 8 minutes. If they want, the older gardener can 12 minutes. Or younger gardener. How long does it take for each to do the weekly yard maintenance? We did this one, right? You still remember? How did you do it? How did you do it? So in 1 hour, both of them will have done 1 over what? 1 over 8, right? The older one in 1 hour, you will have done 1 over 12. The second one in 1 hour, you will have done 1 over something. Okay, so the question is, 2 gardeners can do the weekly yard maintenance in 8 minutes if they work together. So together is 8 minutes. In about in 1 minute. So in this case, it is in minutes. In 1 minute, they will have done what amount of job? What of what? In 1 minute, they will have done 1 over what? 1 over 8. Then the older gardener takes 12 minutes more than the younger, got it? So if we take the older as, or we can take the younger to be X, then the order will be what? The order will be what?
X plus.
X plus what? X plus 12. X plus 12. X plus 12. X plus 12. Now, this case, in 1 minute, the younger will have done 1 over X. And this one, the older will have done 1 over X plus what? X plus 12. So therefore, 1 over X plus 1 over X plus 12 is equals to 1 over what? Is equals to 1 over 8. Is equals to 1 over 8. Then from there now, you can multiply by the least common factor. And for it to be so easy, you don't have to look for the least common factor. What you need to do, you can multiply by all the denominators down here in each one of them. So what you can do actually, for it to be so easy, you multiply this one by X, X plus 12, and what? X. Again, you do it the same thing here. X plus 12, and what? X. Then now you cancel. And then you cancel. So the first one will cancel with X. What remains is 8x plus 12. Plus the second one will cancel with X plus 12. What remains is 8x. Equals to the last one will cancel with 8. What remains is x plus 1. X plus 12. That's it. So when you open the brackets, so it will be 8x plus 8 by 60 by 12 by 8 is 696 plus 8x equals to, open this brackets, x squared plus 12x. 12x. So 8x plus 8x is 16. Take them to the other side. So x squared plus 12x minus 16x minus 96 equals to what? Take all these together. So x squared minus 4x minus 96 equals to 0. Then you look for the two numbers. You can also use the what? Also, you can use the AC. AC method is solve and what? It's all one 8. 12 and 8. So 12 and 8. So which one is negative? So which one is negative? 12. So x squared plus 4x plus 8x minus 12x minus 96 equals to 0. So x plus 8 minus 12, x plus 8 equals to 0. So x minus 12, x plus 8 is equals to 0. So using the zero product property, our x equals to 12 and x equals to minus 8. So which one will we take? Which one will we take? 12. So the order will take 12 minutes, and the younger will take, the younger will take 12 minutes, and the older take 12 plus 12, which is equals to what? Any question?
I did the quadratic and I got different numbers. Just wondering if we could double check the quadratic, see what I messed up.
Okay. Okay, let's use the quadratic. Okay, so our x equals to minus, our b is 8, plus or minus the square root of 8 square is what? 64 minus 4. What am I doing? It is this, right? So it is x equals to, or b is minus 4, minus, so it will now become 4, plus or minus the square root of, this one is what? 16, and then it will become what? Plus 4 multiplied by 96, all over what? So 4 by 96 is
3, 4 plus 16 is 400,
400. 400, the square root of 400 is
20.
20. So 4 plus or minus 20 all over 2. So this is the same as 2 plus or minus 10. So 2 plus what? 10 is 12. So you get 12. Yes. And then the other one is 2 minus 10 is minus 8. So you take 12. Any question? Okay. Okay, now the last one there, the bullet fired straight from the initial velocity of 0 is per second. Initial height of 8. Use the formula, the other one, to determine how many seconds it will take for the bullet to hit. So this is the formula. So h equals to minus 16t squared plus v naught t plus 8. And this v naught is actually initial velocity. That is the initial velocity. So we are given the initial velocity as 1120. And then the height as what? As 8 there. The question is, determine how many seconds it will take for the bullet to hit the ground. That is when h is equals to 0. Oh, actually, the initial height, this is the initial height. The initial height is where the time is what? Is 0. The initial height is where the time is 0. So when you substitute zeros here, then finally what we get there is the initial height, which is 8. So this is the initial height. Now, what will be the height? What will be the time when h is 0? Now, when h is 0, then that means it is 0 equals minus 16t squared plus initial velocity is 1120t plus what? Plus 8. Now you solve the value of t. You get the value of t. So you can use any method to solve that. You can use any method. Any question after that? Any question? Okay, we still have, thank you. Okay. Who has not brought the homework? I gave you some homeworks, some quizzes. So you can post it in Moodle, so I created a place you can post.